Welcome back everybody to Luck of the Irish. Yesterday's episode was Grabbers. So today I got an interesting film and I'm not that excited about it. You'll find out why in my review. I was so, I guess you could say, hyped for this film. Yeah, it just didn't work for me. The film I'm going to be talking about is called The Devil's Woods. In case you don't know what it's about a group of friends trying to repair their strained relationships. They decide to spend the weekend camping at a music festival. En route, they stop off at a small town in the middle of rural Ireland. However, this seemingly idyllic country town is darkened by a history of strange events. Can a town that is inherently evil literally tear them apart? Can they survive The Devil's Woods? From the plot summary, sounds like it could be a pretty decent horror film with some, I guess you could say, supernatural elements. There really is none of that. It opens up strong. POV shots with some landscape shots like B-roll, and then with the music it creates an ominous cold open. The first appearance of the car in the film, just how they shot it, it felt very amateurish. I'm probably gonna say that a lot in this, and I've seen plenty of films that are shot like that. This film was kind of like, I'd say, it couldn't decide whether it was going to make the best out of what Imdb has on there, which is 800 euros, or just kind of show the limitations. For me at least, it shows all the limitations of a very low budget. It doesn't seem as polished as it could have been. They were playing to the limitations a little bit. It feels very low budget. I can kind of get where the director was going with it, like he wanted to do an homage to like 70s low budget films, but something about it didn't really work. The editing is okay and it's one of the more passable elements of the film, but it still is amateurish. All the B-roll shots, I guess you could say it's decently shot for about 90% of the film, and then, well, that 90% kind of works with the limitations and doesn't really show the limitations as much, but then that last 10% shows all the limitations and it takes away so much from the film. Now, I think they actually had a composer for the film, but at the same time, a lot of the music in the film felt like it was copyright-free music, and as somebody that uses a lot of copyright-free music, it just has a different kind of sound to it. It kind of fits, but then it doesn't fit, which was the case with a lot of the music in this film. It was good music, but I didn't feel like it really blended well with all the stuff that was on screen. I think maybe like a much better camera would have actually have improved the quality of the film, the overall quality of it. It could be shot for like 800 pounds or euros and still look very good and still feel like a polished but a good first film. This one didn't have it. I don't know if it was the camera choice, but the quality just kind of seemed like didn't feel up to par with what it could have been. It didn't reach that potential that I could see they were trying to reach, but they just couldn't for whatever reason. The story is decent. The acting is alright. It's definitely passable, and I think a lot of the dialogue was actually improvised, which probably made the film watchable at the very least. At least the version I saw, it kind of looked like it was oddly color corrected. What I mean by that is it seemed like they put just one single preset look on top of all the footage and left it like that. It's a bluish white aesthetic. It's almost a steely kind of look. Basically, I've worked with a preset that makes the footage look like 99% like what this film was. There is an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre when they drive past a dead animal on the road. Apparently it actually was there and they didn't actually place it there, so it was kind of, it just happened by chance. Apparently it was shot over 18 days. It was an 18-day shoot, but over a year, and I don't know if they missed something, but for whatever reason it just felt like each section of the film was probably shot on a different day, and it causes the film to be just disjointed, but at the same time flow well or flow decently from one scene to the next. B-roll is probably the best thing about this film, and yeah, I kind of feel bad about ragging on the film so much, but it just didn't really do it. So if the quality was intentional, then like this film was shot in 2015, but it felt like an early 2000s low budget film. It didn't look the way it should have for me. But despite all that, I'll probably give the director a chance, because I do appreciate he was trying to reach for something, and due to limitations or something, he just couldn't hit that. I know how hard it is to hit those high bars with filmmaking, so the fight scenes in the abandoned house close to the end of the film feel weak and boring. It didn't seem like there was any like planning. It's like, okay, this is gonna happen and we'll try to make it work. Overall, it felt like there was something missing, like the heart of the movie was missing, like basically a shell. It's kind of hard to describe how I felt while watching it, but basically a shell with no heart in the film, like almost like it was all slapped together, and a shoot that is basically one day a month. They shoot some scenes for one day and then they pick up the next day and all that. It just felt like they just maybe shot it in order and then placed it together in editing or something. Basically, it was kind of hard to follow at some points and caused it to not be as believable as it probably should have. The pacing though is passable, because the scenes kind of just flow right into each other, even though it seems like they were shot on different days and stuff. The writing is alright, the chemistry is okay, they truly do feel like friends. Definitely a plus to the film. If you want to watch it, you can. Like, this was all just my opinion. Like, if you want to check it out yourself, you can check it out on YouTube, or you could get a DVD copy. See if you have a different experience while watching the movie. But mine, I was kind of going into it like, title was good, the plot summary was good, and the poster was really good, and all those elements, I just got a little bit hyped for it, and I had high expectations for the film that it didn't meet. If I had to give it a rating, I'd have to give it a 3.5. I hope this was just a one-off for the director and it just didn't work. Maybe it'll get better on repeated viewings, who knows. If I get back to it, I'll definitely update you guys on if the rating has actually changed for me and it gets better with multiple viewings, but for now I'm gonna have to settle with a 3.5. I hope you like this review. Be sure to give it a like and a subscribe if you're new, and stay tuned for the other films I have in this series. At least for me, all of them are high expectations, so I expect good things with the rest of them. And I know one of the actors in this film is actually in a film I'm gonna be checking out later on. Maybe it was just the disjointed schedule that doesn't really work. Check it out if you want to. See you in the next one.